वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। यशोदानंदन ब्रज जनरंजन यमुना तीरवनचारी। यशोदानंदन ब्रज जनरंजन यमुना तीरवनचारी। यशोदानंदन ब्रज जनरंजन यमुना तीरवनचारी। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे। जय राधा माधव राधा माधव राधे। जय जय कृष्ण बलराम जय कृष्ण बलराम कृष्ण बलराम जय वृंदावन धाम जय गौरनिताय जय गौरनिताय पतित पावन गौरनिताय जय जगन्नाथ जय बलदेवा सुभद्रा माई जय सुदर्शना जय राधा गोपीनाथ राधा गोपीनाथ राधे जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद निताई गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताई गौर हरि बोल कलियुग धाम नाम संकीर्तन की जय। जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजन सहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान् सहगण ललिता श्री विशाखाभितांश्च नमः। ओम विष्णुपादाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांता स्वामिन् इति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांता राधा कांत नमस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धो भैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो महावदान्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। नीलाचल निवासाय नित्याय परमात्मने बलभद्र सुभद्राभ्यां जगन्नाथाय ते नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा। So welcome everyone in this very auspicious evening. So I have been instructed by Adi Manohar Prabhu to continue this session. So he'll be the main person still in his absence, in his separation, this service in separation. So he'll be the person who will be continuing the program, and on his behalf I will be just acting like a Ritvik. So I don't know what all topics you must have discussed, but gradually we'll cover different varieties of subject matter. And we have the senior devotees from Haldia. So in fact sometime when I am not present here, so Prabhus can give classes and continue the sessions. So actually they all are expert preachers. I have been to Haldia and I saw how devotees are being trained there. Very wonderful experience. And the way His Grace Kumar Lila Prabhu is taking care of all the devotees is excellent. I have been informed that when they go out for different camps, so only travel is fixed, neither accommodation nor prasadam. So whatever it comes in on its own accord by Krishna's grace, so they receive it and go on for Sankirtan for hours and hours together. And they have starting time for the classes and no end time. You cannot say it will start at this time. So you can say it will start at this time, but at what time it will end, there is no guarantee. And I have seen the devotees there, all the devotees very enthusiastic. They have this great eagerness to listen here. So once quite recently I was there. So I asked devotees there, I said that, this particular topic that we are discussing, or the question that you are asking me, you must have asked it from many devotees. So why you are asking it to me again? So one of them replied that we are getting better insights, better perspective from different devotees. They are getting different angles of vision. So I said, wow. So this is how such nicely they are trained. So wonderful culture has been established. Actually, we all must visit Haldia once. The way devotees are being trained, the way they are doing preaching, they are charging 50 rupees, 70 rupees something for every weekly sessions, and still more than 200 students are coming. So they are paying and coming. We are giving free and nobody is coming. So is it being recorded? So wonderful culture. And so quite recently we had this Bhakti Vriddhi camp. So the purpose of these camps and these classes is to, we are providing a platform to our students to interact with senior devotees. So here's the platform. These camps are the platform, because when they listen from advanced devotees, senior devotees, those who have experience of Krishna consciousness for last 30-40 years, if you hear from them, our devotion becomes concrete. So therefore, this was the first time we organized such camps. And interestingly, Radheshyam Prabhu has actually, now I wrote him mail after the program that expressing my gratitude. So Prabhu made one 16-minute video for all of us. I'll show it to you. Personally shooted that video for us, and he was telling that how he felt during this camp and during his visit in Bhubaneswar, and he promised that every year he'll give 3 to 4 years for us, he'll keep it for us. So it's our good fortune that Prabhuji will be coming regularly every year. So we have a parameter check, like this year almost 75 devotees attended, so next year it must be 150, next year it should grow exponentially. So that is the check, parameter, whether we are going forward or going backward in our preaching Krishna consciousness. And Gaurang Prabhu also promised that he'll bring His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj here. So in October that program is scheduled. So we have July, August, September, 3 months. 3 months preparation phase. So within this 3 months we need to expand our preaching, so that when Maharaj will come, so many youth should come and seek his blessings. And Gaurang Prabhu will also give his time regularly. On 12th, one devotee is coming from Pune, another one senior devotee is Sundar Shyam Prabhu. He will be coming in July end, I think 21st, from Panihati. His guest Radhapad Prabhu will be coming. So now we'll have, in August, I have written to His Holiness Swayam Bhagwan Keshav Maharaj. You have heard his name? So one sannyasi from London. You must have seen that photograph. Rishi Shunak is offering obeisances to, touching the feet of one sannyasi. You have seen that photograph? Aniket, you have seen? Rishi Shunak is, he's touching the feet of a ISKCON sannyasi in Bhaktivedanta manner. You have seen that photograph? That sannyasi. So he'll be coming in August. So I have written to him. I am waiting for his reply. Maybe he'll reply within. He promised that whenever I'll be coming to India, I'll come to Bhubaneswar. So I got his video, that in his video he released that I am traveling all over the world and I'll be coming in India in August. So I wrote to him, Maharaj, you promised. Now it is your turn to fulfill your words. So in August he'll be coming. So like this. So my major concern is that we should bring as many as devotees as possible. Tomorrow morning 6 a.m. devotees from Hyderabad. So around 20-25 devotees and few IIT students. I don't know which IIT they are bringing. I think IIT Chennai or what, I don't know. So around 10-15 IIT boys and other 20, so 20, 25, 30 boys are coming tomorrow here. So they are going to Mayapur for Utkarsha camp. So they are coming. Tomorrow evening, one group batch is coming from VIT Pune. Again 20, 25 students. So that means day after tomorrow morning we'll have at least 150 students from different colleges. Their halt is in Bhubaneswar and they are going to Mayapur. Someone is going to Puri, like this. So I have written to everyone, like whenever you come to Puri, you go to Mayapur, if you pass through Bhubaneswar, please come here, so that we can get association of as many devotees as possible. So Bhubaneswar is actually a very pious place and located on a very strategic location, because if somebody is passing through south going to north, so naturally it's compulsory they'll pass through Bhubaneswar. And this is the route where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came from West Bengal, he came through Puri, like he came through Bhubaneswar and went to Puri. So this is located in a very strategic location and we should take advantage of this place. Similarly, whoever goes to Jagannath Puri, so Bhubaneswar is the gateway. So either by rail or by plane, except by sea, I don't know. But so Bhubaneswar is located on a very strategic location. We simply have to tap. We simply have to keep in mind who is coming, who is going, and as we got to know, just call them. But if they'll come here, what they'll do? They'll give class to whom? So our duty is to arrange audience. Our duty is to arrange, good enthusiastic listeners. So therefore, we should set that kind of mood, that whenever some devotees are coming, our students should be very enthusiastic. Oh, that devotee is coming. Oh, that devotee is coming. Let me go to hear from him. So So this is the duty of our leaders, to imbibe that mood in the newcomers. It is said that in Bhagavatam, it is said that Shrotanjali upasprishya dhunute karma vasanam. How one must receive Krishna Katha? One must receive Krishna Katha means Shrotanjali. You know what is Anjali? Anjali means, this is called Anjali. Shraddhanjali, Pushpanjali, Anjali. So Shrotanjali means making Anjali of ears. So this is ear and making is Anjali, like this, Shrotanjali. And Upasprishya. Sprishya means touch. And Upasprishya means touch with great reverence and respect. So for example, if somebody will give you Ganges, water of Ganga. English is comfortable, Prabhus, everyone? Let us make this standard. We'll have Saturday classes in English only. We may get less audience, fine, but we'll keep it in English, because there are many speakers, those who, if we'll call for Prabhupada disciples, they'll speak only in English. So if we'll not have English audience, then it is another difficulty for us. So let us have at least one session in English, and we have many sessions in Hindi going on already, Hindi, Udiya. So Shrotanjali, making the Anjali of the ears and Anjali, making ear like this, Shrotanjali. Upasprishya. Upasprishya means, Sprishya means to touch, and Upasprishya means to touch with great reverence or great respect. If somebody will give you water of Ganga, how you will hold it? With great respect. Upasprishya. So Bhagavatam says, if somebody will receive this message of Srimad Bhagavatam, making Anjali of the ears, just like we make Anjali of our hand, palm, to collect Ganges water. Similarly, somebody will make Anjali of his ears, and Upasprishya will great reverence, great respect, will catch the words of Srimad Bhagavatam. So what will happen? Dhunute karma vasanam. So whatever knots are there within our heart, whatever impurities are there in the heart, it gets purified. Knots get unlocked. The impurities gets away. When when somebody will receive this message of Srimad Bhagavatam with great reverence, great respect, with great eagerness. So for example, if somebody is glorifying you, if somebody is glorifying Niranjan, Niranjan is such a great person, he has done a lot of things in his life. So what will happen? How you listen to it? Or you must have seen in families, this is the common culture. If somebody, say for example, neighbors are fighting. So if neighbors are fighting, so women of this, like, this side, so they'll say what's going on. Why? Because they can listen it and then they can broadcast it everywhere. So they become very enthusiastic, very eager, just to, not a single word should miss out. Is it not? Similarly, with same enthusiasm, same eagerness and same, intensity, if somebody will receive this message of Srimad Bhagavatam, what will happen? His heart will become purified. Knots within the heart will get cleared off, unlocked. Karma Vasana. What is this Karma Vasana? See, a living entity is transmigrating into different bodies because of desires within the heart. Even then, if while giving up this body, we have a littlest of smallest of desire, the result would be we'll have to come back again in the material body, accept a material body, and again go into that cycle of birth and death. Even the meagerest of smallest of desire, karma vasana, that is called karma vasana. So this karma vasana gets vasana means, what do you mean by vasana? Vasana means desire. Vasana. Say for example, some flowers are kept here for long time, and I have removed the flowers and I have cleaned this place with water, but still some smell, aroma or some odor will come. Or say for example, if some bad thing was here, some pungent or some some kind of dirt was here, obnoxious. So you have removed that obnoxious thing and you have cleaned this place with water, but still some smell would remain. That is called vasana. Vasana is a very subtle form of the gross impurity. The gross impurity is removed, already cleansed with water, but still what is coming? Vasana is coming. That is called vasana. So dhunute karma vasana. Karma vasana means even the slightest of desire for material sense enjoyment, grossly it would have removed, but subtle form of enjoying tendencies are there within our heart. But if somebody will listen to Srimad Bhagavatam with great intensity and great eagerness, what will happen? Dhunute karma vasana. That the slightest of impurities will also get cleansed off. But the condition is one must receive this message of Srimad Bhagavatam with great intensity, great eagerness, great enthusiasm. That is the only condition. And it is not just with this particular limb of bhakti. Bhakti have various limbs: Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Pada Sevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakhyam, Atma Nivedanam. So many, they are different limbs of bhakti. Nectar of devotion described there are 64 limbs of bhakti: offering water to Tulsi, offering obeisance to deities, so many, worshipping the Vaishnavas, worshipping the deities, worshipping the Tulsi, worshipping cow, roaming around in different pilgrimage places, etc. So these are all different limbs of bhakti. So this particular that intensity part I told, it's not just for Shravanam. For any limb of bhakti, it has to be performed with great intensity, and the result would be dhunute karma vasana. So generally, it has been observed that when we are in association of devotees, we have this intensity to perform devotional service. But gradually, when we go away from the association of devotee, the intensity decreases. The bhakti continues, chanting still continues, I don't know, you must have observed or not, when we sit here in temple hall and chant, the intensity there and intensity when we are in a room, it's a heaven and hell difference. So bhakti is continuing, 16 rounds is continuing, reading is continuing, hearing is continuing. But when we are in association of devotees, then the intensity is there. But when we are away from the association of devotees, the bhakti continues, but what it lacks is the intensity. And therefore it is suggested that one must practice devotional service in the association of devotees. It is my personal experience. I don't know about all of you, but I have observed it many times. The moment I am away from association devotee, I practice the same level of bhakti. I may be reading, I may be hearing, I may be chanting, but the intensity lacks. And because the intensity lacks, I feel that battery is not charged properly. Sometimes we put our battery on charging, our mobile phone on charging, but the connection is not proper. So it gets charged of say some percentage, the 20-30% is charged, but then the connection, no, because it was not properly fixed up, it somehow get disconnected. So even after whole night you put your mobile phone on charging, morning you see it's still just 30%. So why 30%? Because it was connected, but because it was not properly connected, it got disconnected at certain point. So you are feeling that my mobile is getting charged, but actually it was not charged. Similarly, we are feeling that I have already done my 16 rounds and I have done my reading and hearing or whatever, but still I am not feeling charged enough. Why? Because that I could not perform it with great intensity because I was lacking the proper association. So bhakti becomes easy when one is in association of devotees. They all have come for hearing the class. They are more enthusiastic than us. Dhunute karma vasana. In Nectar of Devotion, there is a very beautiful analogy. If somebody is entering into the temple hall with great enthusiasm and eagerness, so what is the benefit one derives? If somebody is entering into the temple hall with great enthusiasm, we have this ACs, we can use them. It's not working? Oh, anyway, not to get disturbed, let them, they'll come and go. Still they'll come, even if you see if you can close them. So so Nectar of Devotion, flies are coming actually. So Nectar of Devotion gives a very beautiful analogy. Okay, leave it. So Nectar of Devotion gives a very beautiful analogy. It says that if somebody enters into a temple hall with great enthusiasm, so he derives some benefit. What benefit? If somebody is entering into a temple hall to offer obeisances to the Lord, he derives some benefit. What is that benefit? So Nectar of Devotion gives this understanding that if somebody is entering into the temple hall with great enthusiasm, he will not enter into the womb of the mother. Entering, analogy. If somebody is getting into the temple hall to offer the obeisance to the Lord and the Vaishnavas, and he is doing this with great enthusiasm, then he will get a result. What result he will derive? That he will not enter into the womb of mother. That means what? There will be no reincarnation, no punarjan for that person. Vice versa. If somebody is entering into temple hall not with great enthusiasm, then what benefit he will derive? Then he will have to get into the womb of another mother with great enthusiasm. That means he is not completing his Krishna consciousness in this life, and then he will get another birth. And he said it's another mother. Now never explained which species, human species or may not be, may or may not be. So what point I am trying to derive here is practicing Krishna consciousness with great intensity and great eagerness and great enthusiasm yields results. The result that we can actually physically observe. So this is the difference between those who are practicing Krishna consciousness. There are people, those who are practicing and chanting for years together, but we do not see much difference in their life. Why? Because their practice does not have sufficient, intensity. Bhagavatam says one should practice bhakti with tibrena bhakti yogena, tibrata. And this tibrata one derives in association. I have this good example quite recently. One devotee, His Grace Krishnananda Prabhu from Pune, is a very senior devotee, disciple of His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj. So he visited Bhubaneswar. I met him in Bangalore. So I requested him, Prabhuji, whenever you will be coming to Puri, please visit Bhubaneswar. So he came for Rath Yatra and he called me that I am here. So I requested him, Prabhuji, please come. So he came in it was, I think, Sunday, maybe just after Rath Yatra. So he came. So he was whole day we were with him, and he had this good taste for chanting the holy name, So every day he used to chant many rounds. So after completing 16 rounds, he used to chant many rounds. So because whole day I was in his association, so I was getting this impetus, this inspiration to chant with him. So we went to this Lingaraj temple, we went to Anant Vasudev temple. So everywhere he chanted. He sat before Anant Vasudev, he chanted there. He sat before Lingaraj, he chanted there. Then he sat before Parvati temple, within Lingaraj temple. He sat there, he chanted there. Then there are different small temples in that Lingaraj compound. So every temple he used to go there, sit there and chant one round. Then we entered into Bindu Sarovar. So in the water we chanted one round. No, actually 2 rounds. So it was raining from outside and we were submerged in water like till here, and then we were chanting on our beads. So very nice experience. And then he spoke about chanting the holy name. So when we are in association of devotees, those who have taste for chanting, those who have taste for reading, those who have taste for hearing, those who have taste for worshipping deities, those who have taste for preaching Krishna consciousness. So simply by their association, we derive this impetus. It's just like a magnetic field. You know what happens in magnetic field? Within a magnetic field, if there is a coil and you rotate the coil, what happens? Current generates. So current generates, your branch is electrical, therefore you are the first person. So in the magnetic coil, in a magnetic field you put a coil and you rotate the coil, it generates current. So our situation is just like that coil, and we simply have to stay in that magnetic field and rotate there. So it is not our, what we say, our effort or our glory that we are producing Krishna conscious current. It is simply because we are in that magnetic field of devotees and simply rotating there. If you rotate here and there in the magnetic field of Krishna conscious devotees, then the resultant will be, you will have Krishna conscious current, and then whoever you will touch, he will get shock. So simply what we have to do is to stay in that magnetic field, association of devotee. Our spiritual master used to say, what is this? Krishna has lots of potencies, Antaranga Shakti, Bahiranga Shakti. So what is this Antaranga Shakti? Bahiranga Shakti we know, this material world, this Maya. We know Bahiranga Shakti, how it is active. Bahiranga Shakti is active everywhere. And you must have seen our temple staircase. Bahiranga Shakti is very active there. Have you observed? Aniket especially observed, yes. So Bahiranga Shakti is active actually everywhere. The moment you are alone, the Bahiranga Shakti is active. Actually, we are already in Bahiranga Shakti. It is something like we are already within the water, and within the water we are trying to remain, dry. So Bahiranga Shakti is everywhere. And what is Antaranga Shakti? Where is Antaranga Shakti? So Antaranga Shakti, my spiritual master used to say that Antaranga Shakti means association of devotees. Bhakta Sangh means Antaranga Shakti. The moment you are in association devotee, Antaranga Shakti means you will not have sinful desires. Antaranga Shakti means you will have enthusiasm for bhakti. Antaranga Shakti means you will have eagerness to perform devotional service. So the moment you come and in the association of devotees, you have all these characteristics. That means you have already come into the Antaranga Shakti of the Lord. So somehow or other we need to remain in association of devotee. That is the wholehearted endeavor that we need to perform. It looks easy that some people say that we can perform Krishna consciousness without association, but they simply say it's a lip service. It's not practically possible. Even we have observed that I am practicing Krishna consciousness for last 10-15 years. Not 15 years, maybe 12 years, maybe. So, but still I feel weak when I am away from association. The moment there is no association, I will start to feel weak. So we can never consider ourselves strong enough that without association I can practice. And therefore, first and for bhakti bhagvat sangasya jayate. So jayate means janma leti hai. Ja dhatu means to take birth. So bhakti jayate, janma leti. Kahan janma leti hai? Bhagvat sangasya. Bhakti bhagvat sangasya jayate. So devotion get nourished, devotion get devotion appears or devotion take birth, bhagvat sangasya. And therefore our first and foremost what we say endeavor should be to somehow or other keep ourselves or mold our life in such a way that we have sufficient association for devotees. So therefore, Anish, you are going for BSF. You are going for BSF. So make it a point that somehow that you get association of devotees there. And I would say, if it is it your heartfelt desire to join BSF? Not desire? Then why?
Actually, my father was in BSF.
Okay, so therefore is he forcing you?
No, he died. Actually, he fractured in Bangladesh border.
Okay, Bangladesh war.
Yes.
When?
Bangladesh border.
When?
2015.
Oh, quite recently.
So after his death, I got that.
Okay. What is your age?
Now 90.
Oh, just 19. Is your mother ready to send you to the border?
Actually, my mom is forcing me.
Why?
She knows about that government job and all, and now
She's not concerned that she's sending her, she's concerned about government job, not concerned about you. Wow. She should send you to ISKCON then.
she was denying to send me.
She was denying you to send you to ISKCON and forcing you to go to border. So where your father is already martyred. So she is not fearing that you will also get martyred. And Bangladesh, we have always problem with Bangladesh. Huh? She is not fearful. She is more concerned about government job and money coming in. Wow. Well, still, so you are happily going then. Great. So you are the eldest son.
I am the only son.
The only son. I am also the only son, but I have joined these forces. So we are also border security force. We are on the border, marginal energy, Tatastha Shakti, Antaranga Bahiranga. We are on the border. So still you have hope. You go there and serve for a few years, and then you join ISKCON. That was your plan? Okay, fine, great. Because wherever you go, the most important thing is that you stay in association of devotees. Because for serving border and serving our Subhash Chandra Bose went to Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. You heard this story? So Subhash Chandra Bose told Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur that so they were actually good friends. Friends in the sense, Subhash Chandra Bose's father was a good friend of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati. And Subhash Chandra Bose was college senior of Srila Prabhupada in Scottish Church College. So Subhash Chandra Bose was a very revolutionary personality. Of course, there is no doubt about it. But once he went to Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, and he said that in your math there are so many young boys and living a very comfortable life. So why don't you send them for shedding their blood for the independence movement? So Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur said, see, you can see these boys, they are all, they are not very healthy, like Aniket, not very, so we are simply allowing them to chant and eat prasadam, that's all. They are worthless for you actually, because you require some hatte katte mushtande for fighting, but they cannot fight, they cannot even hold your guns, they hold and they will fall apart. So this is a very intelligently Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur actually denied Srila Subhash Chandra Bose's request, but then at the same time he guided him. He said that you are talking about independence. What independence you are talking about? The same instruction that Srila Siddhanta Saraswati gave it to Srila Prabhupada, the same instruction he spoke to Subhash Chandra Bose. And he told him that the real message of Bhagavad Gita. He said, have you read Bhagavad Gita? He said, yes, I have read. Then what you have learned? I have read, but I don't know much about it. I could not understand much about it. And then he explained the concept of transmigration of soul and how how soul lives from one body to another. And you're talking about India today. And tomorrow you will take birth in a British family. It's called British. And because Subhash Chandra Bose was really very intelligent, so he actually admired, appreciated what Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur told. And he also accepted Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Subhash Chandra Bose has written it. But then he said that because now I have come far ahead in this movement, in independence movement, so I cannot go back. If I would have known about your movement and your philosophy, little, back, so then I would have accepted it surely. So this was the conversation. This is a very famous conversation between both of them. It's printed in different articles, has come up. So my point is, going to border security forces is fine, but country services many people will do, they can do, but how many of them are there to serve Krishna and society in a spiritual way? Very less. So think about it. Whatever it is, good for your spiritual life must be the priority. Money will anyways come. How much you will get there?
Starting
20,000, that's all. Life for 20,000. 20,000 for life. 20,000 for life is very less actually, is it not? Even 20 lakh is very less. Anyway. So the conversation that we're continuing today is that somehow that we need to mold our life in such a way that we have this association of devotees. We have this impetus to grow in spiritual life. That is how it must be molded. Wherever we go, at least we should have that kind of connections. In this regard, I would say that now ISKCON has grown in such a vast extent. Wherever you go, you have association of devotees. Even in Middle East, you have association of devotees. Even in Pakistan, you have association of devotees. Everywhere you have association of devotees. So this is the great blessings. Srimad Bhagavatam says, Nirdeham Adhyam Sulabham Sudurlabham Plavam Sukalpam Guru Karnadharam Mayanukul Nabhavasteritam Puman Bhavabdim Na Taret Sa Atmaha. It is said, Nirdeham Adhyam, Nirdeham, this human form of life. Adhyam is a starting, it's a gate. It's a gate in the sense, it's a platform from where you can go to any life. You can come to this insect's life, you can go to demigod's life, you can go to animal's life, you can go to amphibian's life, you can go to aquatic life, and you can liberate from material clutches. So this is the gateway, Nirdeham, Adhyam. Human life is a gateway. How many planetary systems are there? There are 14 planetary systems. You heard this? There are 14 planets, planetary system, planetary planes. Out of which this earthly planet is the 7th one, is the ground floor. Now say for example, there is a building. and you need to come out of the building, which floor you have to go? Ground floor. You can go upstairs up to the terrace, but can you come out of the building out from terrace? You can if you are Ambani, something Ambani Adani, so helicopter may come. But let us have this. This is the rarest case. There are living entities that get liberated from Brahma's abode. But how many of them? Some Ambani Adani, in terms of their piety, not in terms of their money. So there are some pious souls, or there are some devoted souls, those who get liberated from Brahma's planet also, but very rare, rarest of rare. But most of them have to come in ground floor to get out of the building. If somebody is staying down, like in the -7 or -6 floor, underground, can he come out of the building? No. What he has to do? Climb up to the ground floor. That means if somebody has to come out of this building, he has to come to ground floor. That means somebody has to come out of the clutches of repeated birth and death, he has to come to ground floor in this human form of life. Earthly planet, human form of life. Nirdeham Adyam. Adyam is the starting. This is the starting. This is the gateway from where one can go to higher planetary system, lower planetary system. He can get liberated, whatever. Nirdeham Adyam. Sulabham. Sulabham. Very easily one has achieved. Do you remember how much struggle you had to do to get this human form of life? We don't remember at all. Anything which the struggle, if we don't remember, that means we have got it freely, easily. Sulabham. Sulabham in the sense, we don't have any past memories also, that how and when we got this human form of life, how we got this human form of life, where we were struggling in previous lives. So very easily we have got it. Sulabham. And Sudurlabham. Sudurlabham means, Durlabh means, Labh means to prapt karna, to get. Durlabh means difficult to get. Sudurlabham means very difficult to get. So Nirdeham, this human form of life, is the starting, is the gateway from where one can enter into any species of life, or one can come out of this 14 planetary system, this material world, because this is the ground floor. Nirdeham Adyam Sulabham. And how we have received it? Quite easily. We don't even remember. Sudurlabham. But it is it is very difficult to achieve this body. Say for example, out of all the living entities, how many human beings are? The rarest of rare. How many ants are there? How many insects are there? How many microorganisms are there? How many animals are there? How many birds are there? How many trees and plants are there? How many herbs and shrubs are there? In comparison to all of them, how many human beings are there? Hardly. All over the world, you compare how many ants are there compared to the human beings are hardly. निरंजन समझ आ रहा है क्या बोल रहा हूं मैं बोल रहा हूं दुनिया में कितनी चींटियां होंगी, उनके कंपैरिजन मनुष्य कितने हैं? मनुष्य ज्यादा है संसार में कि चींटियां? और मैं तो कह रहा हूं चींटियां छोड़ो, चींटियां प्लस जानवर, कुत्ते, बिल्ली, सारे प्रकार के जानवर, सारे प्रकार के पेड़ पौधे, सारे प्रकार के माइक्रो ऑर्गेनिजम्स, अमीबा, पैरामेशियम, बैक्टीरिया, वायरस, सब मिला करके उन सबको ऐड कर दो, उनके कंपैरिजन ह्यूमन बीइंग कितने हैं? नेग्लिजिबल. सो निर्देहम आद्यम सुलभम सुदुर्लभम. आई एम स्पीकिंग ऑन दिस वर्ड सुदुर्लभम. ह्यूमन लाइफ इज सुदुर्लभ. सारे लिविंग एंटिटी से कंपैरिजन में ह्यूमंस हैं ही कितने? ना के बराबर है, तुच्छ, बिल्कुल गणना ही बहुत कम है. उन ह्यूमन बीइंग्स में से हम लोग कुछ हैं. समझ आ रहा है? रेयरेस्ट ऑफ रेयर समझने की कोशिश. सुदुर्लभम, निर्देहम आद्यम सुलभम सुदुर्लभम. दिस ह्यूमन फॉर्म ऑफ लाइफ इज द गेटवे फ्रॉम वेयर यू कैन एग्जिट दिस 14 planetary system. It's a ground floor, or it is the ground floor. At the same time, if you want to go to any other floor, so this is the pathway. This is the gateway. From here only you will have to go. In any other species you want to go, this is the gateway. In any planetary system you want to go, this is the gateway. If you want to come out of this existence of material birth and death, repeated birth and death, this is the gateway. So Adyam. And Sulabham, very easily we have received it. But Sudurlabham, out of millions and trillions and unlimited living entities, human beings are rarest of rare. In quantity I am telling. Very little. Nideham Adyam Sulabham Sudurlabham. Plavam Sukalpam. And this human form of life, this human form of body is compared with a boat. Plavam. Sukalpam, very nicely built boat. So human form of life is compared with boat. इसकी तुलना किससे करी गई है? एक बोट से, एक नाव से. और नाव भी कैसी? सुकल्पम, नाइसली बिल्ट नाव. टाइटैनिक जैसी नहीं. प्लवम सुकल्पम. अब बोट को चलाने के लिए कौन होता है? कैप्टन. तो इफ दिस ह्यूमन फॉर्म ऑफ लाइफ इज अ बोट, हु इज द कैप्टन ऑफ द बोट? गुरु कर्णधारम. Guru is the Karnadhar of this boat. He is the captain of this boat. Nirdeham, human form of life. Adyam is the gateway from where you can go to other species of life. You can go to upper planetary system, you can go to lower planetary system, or you can come out of existence of repeated birth and death. This is the point. This is the Chauraha. From here you have to decide where you have to go. Nirdeham Adyam. Sulabham, very easily we have received it because we do not remember what all struggles we underwent to get this human body. But Sudurlabham, it is not easy to receive this body. It is not, because out of millions and trillions and quadrillions of living entities, human beings are rarest of rare. Sudurlabham. Then it is said as human body is compared with a boat, and not just ordinary boat, nicely built boat. Sukalpam, Plavam Sukalpam. And Guru is the Karnadhar of this boat. He is the captain of this boat. You heard this word Karnadhar before? First time you are hearing? Karnadhar means the captain, the boatman, the expert boatman. The Guru is the expert boatman. Human body is a boat, and who is the captain of the boat? Guru is the captain of the boat. There is another meaning to this word Karnadhar. You know, Karna means Karna, Dhar matlab Guru is the कर्णधार, जो क्या करता है? जो कान पकड़ते हैं. कर्णधार के दो मतलब समझ आए. एक मतलब क्या है? कैप्टन. दूसरा मतलब क्या है? तो गुरु, जैसे कैप्टन क्या करते हैं? ऐसे चलाते हैं ना बोट को. तो ये वाले गुरु कैसे चलाते हैं बोट को? ऐसे चलाते हैं. ये वाले गुरु इस बोट को कैसे चलाते हैं? ऐसे चलाते हैं. तो गुरु इज दी कर्णधार, जो कान पकड़ ले. कर्णधार. अपने कान नहीं पकड़ ले. कैसा चेला मिला है, बाप रे बाप. चेले के कान पकड़ ले. गुरु कर्णधारम. The human form of life is compared with a boat, and nicely built boat. Sukalpam. And the captain of the boat is Guru. Guru Karnadharam. And then Lord is saying, Mayanukulena Nabhavas Teritam. Maya anukulena. I am blowing favorable winds. So for example, if boat has to go in certain direction and wind is also going in that direction, so then what happens? It's a favorable experience. Have you seen the boats in photographs? You must have seen boats with the big canopy. If the wind is going in certain direction, and if we want to go in the same direction, then what happens? That canopy, how it helps. So Lord is saying, Maya nukulan nabhavasteritam. I am blowing the favorable winds. How Lord is blowing the favorable winds? How He is blowing the favorable winds? As I said, you'll go to any player, you'll have association of devotees. All over the world, you'll have association of devotees. All over the world, you'll get Krishna Prasadam. All over the world, you have opportunity to hear and read Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, hear from the devotees, render devotional service. Anywhere today in all of the world, 50 years back, you would not have imagined this situation. But today, if you go anywhere, either it is Middle East or even if it is Pakistan, even if it is, I don't know, except North Korea, I am not sure about it. Anyway, we are not going to North Korea anyways. Why would we take that risk? Kim Jong-un has passed a resolution. If somebody tried to commit suicide, what will happen? He will be arrested and killed. So anywhere you go today, within India, if you go to America, you go to Europe, anywhere you go, for your career, for your higher studies, by Srila Prabhupada's grace, we have association of devotees. That means the favorable winds are blowing. And now we have YouTube, we have good connectivity, anywhere we can access online lectures, anywhere we can attend to Zoom sessions. So that means what? Lord Krishna is blowing the favorable winds. So we have got this boat, with built up qualities, very nice. So we have got this boat, then we have got boatmen, we have got favorable winds. What more is required? Plavam sukarpam guru karnadharam mayanukulan nabhavasteri. So one has the boat, one has expert boatman. You don't even have to drive it yourself, actually, sail it yourself. The expert boatman is already there, and then there are favorable winds. So even after all these things, Puman bhavabdim na taret sa atmaha. Even after giving all these facilities, the good quality built up boat, the expert boatman, and the favorable winds, even after getting this opportunity, if someone does not take this benefit, if someone does not admire, if someone does not appreciate, if someone does not take the benefit, then what happens? Puman bhavabdim na taret sa atmaha. Atmaha. Atma means self, ha means to kill. That means one is committing suicide. In spite of getting all the opportunities, in spite of getting all the facilities that is required for one to advance in spiritual life, if somebody is not taking that advantage, so what he is doing? Is committing suicide voluntarily. So suicide is of course voluntary. He is committing suicide. He is drinking poison voluntarily. Makes sense? So this is the verdict of Srimad Bhagavatam. So by Krishna's arrangement, by Krishna's mercy, the favorable winds are blowing. We have ISKCON centers throughout the world. We have the opportunity to grow in Krishna consciousness. We have opportunity for association devotees. We have opportunity for reading and hearing. We have opportunity to make friends with, like-minded devotees and learn from their experiences, share with them, have Krishna Prasadam. In spite of all this, if somebody does not take its benefit, then he is committing suicide. So therefore, the moral of today's lesson is one needs to practice Krishna consciousness with such severe intensity. One needs to appreciate that what has been offered to us by the Lord, by the Lord's grace, by the devotee's grace, and we need to engage ourselves in Krishna consciousness in association with intensity, with endeavor, with enthusiasm. Then result will be wonderful. Dhunute karma vasnam. But if we do not take advantage of the facilities being offered, then we are committing suicide. It's suicidal. It's and our responsibility, like my responsibility, is to provide a platform where we can have many devotees coming over here and giving their association. But then we need to hear from them with great intensity, great enthusiasm, great love, great attention, so that they feel inspired to come here regularly and share their experiences. Krishna Katha is same, as I was telling when I was in Haldia. So what I spoke, many devotees must have spoke. It's not that what Katha we are speaking, it's a realization that we have gathered in our practice of Krishna consciousness. So when many devotees come and speak same Katha, so for example, there is a story of Ajamila, a story of Dhruva, a story of Prahlad. So every devotee coming and speaking the same story. But it's not just story that we are hearing or learning. If with that story, their realizations are coming up, their practices being coming up. Today I was hearing somewhere that if somebody listens to Krishna Katha attentively, so the speaker of the Krishna Katha, he must have performed certain austerities, he must have performed certain penances, he must have done certain hard labor. If somebody simply listens to Krishna Katha attentively from that person, so whatever hard work this person has done in his practice, the essence goes to the person who is simply hearing. That's all. As simple as this. समझ आया क्या बोल रहा हूँ मैं? समझ नहीं आया? क्या समझ आया? अगर आप किसी वक्ता से सुनते हैं तो उस वक्ता ने जो तप किया होगा, उस तप का फल आपको उससे सुनने से मिल जाएगा. उससे ध्यान से सुनने में जितना उसने तप करा होगा, केवल आपको सुनने से मिल जाएगा. So we are simply not hearing the stories of Bhagavatam, we are hearing that devotee's realizations, that experiences that he has gathered during his practice of Krishna consciousness. And therefore we call different varieties of speakers, different varieties of devotees, and we need to hear from their experiences. How they came in Krishna consciousness, what struggles they faced during their practice of Krishna consciousness, what were their obstacles. And when we listen from them, what happens? Our enthusiasm grows. That this devotee has faced certain challenges and he overcome these challenges in certain spirit, this was his attitude, this was his mood, and we should imbibe that mood. That is the that is the sign of an intelligent listener. He catches the mood, he catches the spirit, and that is how it works. I hope I was able to narrate or share something. Anyways, if someone have any question about what we have discussed, anything, any clarification, any comment, anything that you learned, you want to share? Yes, Prabhu.
Classes taken from the next class. So the one thing was striking in my mind when he was gave an example where Guru is the captain of both. So the commonly we see common people they give their handle and then at the hand of a very untrained or very neophyte person and consider him a bhakta. Sorry, guru. Then we give the boat to him, hand over the boat to him. So how to understand that whomever I am handing over the boat is this human form, surrendering to some person as a guru. So how we can understand that the person is a perfect guru whom I can surrender?
So Prabhu is asking a question. He knows the answer, but still on all of your behalf he is asking the question. So Prabhu's question is that how to get this confidence that this particular guru, the captain of the boat, is he really qualified? Will he take my boat across the ocean or will he sink in between only? So how to get this insight, how to get this understanding, how to get this faith, or how to trust? Well, it is really difficult to trust. It's very difficult. There is no doubt about it. But Prabhupada used to say that until unless we don't know the difference between gold and brass, if we don't know the difference, then we'll be cheated up. And therefore, when gradually we come in Krishna consciousness, we listen and we find out the philosophy, we understand, and then gradually with that vision, we develop vision to find out a person who is expert in his bhajan, who himself is very much connected in Krishna consciousness, and then gradually we can develop trust over that person. But for that we require to have certain amount of knowledge, certain amount of tips, otherwise we'll be befooled. And therefore, like you see, in ISKCON we have this wonderful system. My style of presentation, I never go out of ISKCON because there is no need of it. Within the ISKCON we have such a wonderful system. Whenever you come to Krishna consciousness movement, the first thing you get to know is that Krishna is the Supreme Lord, and we are his part and parcel, we are his servants, and our duty is to serve him. The Sambandha Abhideya Prayojan gets clear within the first day. I remember there was a boy few years back, he just passed out his 12th. I was sitting in Temple Hall and I met him. I said, okay, are you coming for the first time to temple? He said, yes, I am coming for the first time. But I purchased Bhagavad Gita online few years back and I am reading it. He was just in 12th standard. I said, okay, really? Have you know what is written in Bhagavad Gita? I said, yes. He said, yes. So then I wanted to test him. I asked him, okay, so then what you have learned from Bhagavad Gita? Who is the Supreme Lord? He said, Krishna is the Supreme Lord. Wow. And I asked him the next question, and who are we? He said, we are his part and parcel, we are his servants. Wow. Then I asked him third question, then what is our duty? Our duty is to serve him. You have understood Bhagavad Gita. It was the first interaction. He came to the temple for the first time, he got Bhagavad Gita online and he developed this realization, he developed this understanding. But then there are people, there are spiritual masters in YouTube, very famous spiritual masters, I won't take their names, it's being recorded. But you ask them who is God, who are we, and what is our goal. So they give such vague answers. And not only they give vague answers, their whole parampara, their whole followers are like this. No one have clear understanding. So at least in ISKCON, we are very clear that we have come to the right place, we are getting right knowledge from the day one. People say in spirituality, they have emotion. What you are doing? I am trying to find out who am I. Whole life they have spent, I am doing meditation. For what you are doing meditation? Just to find out who am I. I am doing tapasya. For what you are doing tapasya? To find out who am I. So my dear sir, you are doing so much tapasya, so much meditation to find out who you are. My question is, in ISKCON, this is the first lesson that we get. Who you are? I am servant of Krishna, I am spirit soul. Then what you are meditating for? So they have spent their entire life in searching who am I, but still they have not found. Anytime you ask them, I am still searching. What you are searching? Who am I? Here you come, even a neophyte person will tell you who you are. First day he has come to our classes. What is his first realization? Prabhuji told class mein, we are not this body, we are soul. Soul means we are part and parcel of Krishna. We are servant of Krishna, duty is to serve him. Finished. Whole Atma Sakshatkar in first class. Actually yes, Atma Sakshatkar takes a few minutes. Then come Bhagavad Sakshatkar. But these so-called spiritualists, their Atma Sakshatkar is not finished in one life. What to say one life? Many lives. Anytime you ask them what they are doing, I am finding out who am I. Have you found out? No, I am still searching. I am going to deep inside. For what? To find out who am I. And that is how they bluff the audience. And people think, such a great spiritualist, he's into trance, into meditation. And what this rascal is doing? He's finding out. Not yet found out. We are very fortunate in ISKCON, we have the clear-cut philosophy. Our Sambandha, Abhideya, Prayojan. The Vedas have these three sections: Sambandha, Abhideya, Prayojan. Sambandha, who am I? Who is God? What is my relationship with God? Abhideya, what is my duty? And Prayojan, what I need to do? What is my goal? It's very clear. It's not, nothing is vague here. So for us, this particular shloka that I said, the human form of life is just like a boat and Guru is a Karnadhar. Let us expand it a little bit. This ISKCON is just like a boat and Karnadhar is Srila Prabhupada. And if you need to, it is not just like a boat, it's just like a ship. ISKCON is just like a ship and we have a boat, expert shipman, captain. Our only duty is to somehow be in the boat, be in the ship. If simply we'll be in the ship, then we'll cross over the ocean of this material birth and death. When we are within the boat, within the ship, of course, when we are in the ship, so we may have sometimes certain disagreements with someone, we have certain problems, but that does not mean that we'll jump off the ship. You'll be amazed to know, today only I got to know one devotee. He was an IITian and he was a topper in his academics. I won't take his name, neither I will take name of the IIT he belongs to, because otherwise it will become public. So he was an IITian and topper in his IIT, and he is an initiated devotee from Odisha. Initiated. And today only I got to know from one of my companion who is doing PhD over that college, that same IIT, and he just told me that particular devotee has now left ISKCON and went to Vrindavan to find out some better paths, some better gurus. So IITian, talented boy, good preacher, good leader, got initiated in ISKCON, now left IIT, left ISKCON and went to Vrindavan to find out a guru. So what he will find out? He is thinking that in ISKCON we do not have higher teachings. In ISKCON we do not have gurus, those who can give us higher knowledge. In ISKCON Prabhupada simply talks about body and soul. Prabhupada does talk about higher aspects of spirituality. And that is his misconception. Srila Gaur Govinda Maharaj told and wrote many times that in ISKCON we have everything. Srila Prabhupada has given us everything. In a seed form he has given, simply we have to put it, water it, and the plant will grow and the tree will grow and it will bear fruits. But unfortunately it's not that he has left. Many devotees are leaving ISKCON and going, thinking that Srila Prabhupada is not eligible captain to take us. So that is the great misfortune. Why misfortune? Because they have not closely studied what Srila Prabhupada did. They have not closely observed how Srila Prabhupada's society is running. If somebody has come close enough to Srila Prabhupada's society, they'll understand, my God. You know, few months back, we have this bureau meeting here in the same hall. We all were serving. So bureau means ISKCON is being managed by the like in a trust is being managed by a trustees, a group of trustees. The whole society is being managed by bureau. So this ISKCON bureau makes sure that ISKCON is legally aligning to the governmental norms, because we are running such a big society. We have crores of rupees of transaction. People are giving donation. Money is being flowing in and out. So it has to be managed. Devotees has to be taken care of, and so many things. Legally, we are accountable to public. We are accountable to government. So for that, we have this bureau for taking care of temple administrations, and we have these temple councils. We have zonal secretaries, we have regional secretaries, we have governing body commissioners. Such a vast, and all over the world this Krishna consciousness movement is expanding. Everything is taught by Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada has given certain rules. Even if one single rupee will come to ISKCON, it should be noted down. It should be deposited into treasury. The receipt must be handed over. You will see such purity, such intent. What these Vrindavan sadhus will tell? They do not have any society. They are famous because they have YouTubes. They are getting now good followers. They are becoming famous. Many Sahajiyas from Delhi, they are going and offering obeisances. That's fine. We respect them. But what Srila Prabhupada has done is unimaginable. A single sadhu can, how many spiritual lives, how many lives like devotees he can take care? 10, 20, 50, 100, how many? Maximum. You may see his YouTube lectures, you may have millions of followers on YouTube. But how many of them will get personal guidance? So they'll take some guidance from this gurus, they'll get some guidance from that guru, some guidance from this, that, make all khichdi. And their spirit, I have seen the videos, YouTube videos sometimes, I used to observe them. These so-called sadhus, they are not so-called, they are original sadhus. I won't say they are not sadhus. They are sadhus. But they are not qualified enough to make other sadhus. But Srila Prabhupada is making sadhus all over the world. Srila Prabhupada is making hippies into sadhus. Srila Prabhupada is making grihasthas into sadhus, grihastha sadhus. What Srila Prabhupada is doing is you cannot even imagine how the society is running all over the world. I have seen the followers of these sadhus, those who are very famous on YouTube today, but still they are, they are eating onion garlic, they are taking tea, coffee. How many lives they are actually transforming? In YouTube, you may get million followers. That is not the big thing. Anyone can get it. But how many lives you are actually transforming? But see what Srila Prabhupada is doing. One person, Srila Prabhupada, has expanded this movement in such a way that millions of lives are transforming every day. So how can we compare, Srila Prabhupada with someone else, or someone else with Srila Prabhupada? The contribution of Srila Prabhupada, you cannot even imagine what to say of comparing. Because the social media is active today, and big politicians and cricketers and are going to different sadhus, and the sadhus are becoming famous. That's fine. It's just because of social media. They have their sadhuta, they have their spiritual purity. But Srila Prabhupada is empowered to preach Krishna consciousness all over the world. So if somebody foolishly giving up Srila Prabhupada and going to someone else thinking that they will give me higher knowledge, have you forgotten that he is the what we say, Senapati Bhakta of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu personally sent Srila Prabhupada to preach Krishna consciousness all over the world. Have you forgotten it? And if he is the Senapati Bhakt, you are leaving aside his Sena and going somewhere else, thinking that you will get higher knowledge there. So therefore, it's not just we are practicing Krishna consciousness sentimentally. We have to practice its philosophy. We have to understand the philosophy in depth, understanding that our boat is in very right hand, our ship is in right hand. They may be having boats, but Prabhupada is having ship, unsinkable ship. If somebody simply takes shelter of Srila Prabhupada, and we are proud of it. We must be proud of it. There is no harm in that. And therefore, I request every one of you, kindly go through the Prabhupada's biographies. Prabhupada Lilamrit, Hari Chauri Prabhu has written Transcendental Diary, Tamal Krishna Goswami has written Servants of the Servant, Bhakti Charu Swami Maharaj has written this Ocean of Mercy, then Chasing the Rhinos, then there are many books. I have big collection of, like these days I am only focusing on biographies of Srila Prabhupada. The biography of Srila Prabhupada, the devotees, they are writing about Srila Prabhupada, their interaction with Srila Prabhupada, and the biographies of Srila Prabhupada's disciples. I read Black Lotus biography of Bhakti Maharaj, Mulwaki to Mayapur biography of Jayapataka Maharaj biography. So many biographies are coming up. Because we have to be in ISKCON, we have to understand what Srila Prabhupada's contribution is, how he started his movement, how he expanded his movement, and how millions and millions of lives have been transformed. So therefore, please read these books. Please go through the biographies. It's very important. It's more important reading Srimad Bhagavatam. Someday I told like this, and I told in one lecture that reading Srila Prabhupada's biographies is more important than reading Srimad Bhagavatam. Somebody cut that clip and make it viral. You see these ISKCON people, how fanatic they are. They are saying Prabhupada's biography is more important than Srimad Bhagavatam. Yes, it is. Because we cannot understand book Bhagavatam without understanding person Bhagavatam. It's important. It's not sentiment. It's not my verdict. Krishna says in Adi Purana, Arjun, those who are my devotees are actually not my devotees. Those who are devotees of my devotees are actually my devotees. So therefore, we are not trying to become devotees of Krishna. We are trying to become devotees of Srila Prabhupada. And it is Srila Prabhupada's responsibility to take us back home, back to God. He has the back keys. We are very confident about it. And I don't know how can they leave ISKCON? Because maybe the reason is they have not closely observed ISKCON. My mother used to have this doubt about ISKCON. ISKCON people, people are saying they send money outside, they brainwash students, and खाने में कुछ ऐसा मिला देते हैं कि कुछ आदमी दिमाग खराब हो जाता है, etc. etc. She used to say many things. But then I gave her this Srila Prabhupada Lilamrit in Hindi, big set. And once my mother completed Srila Prabhupada Lilamrit, all the doubts were finished. No more doubts. Now my mother and father, they are very eagerly practicing, like they are practicing Krishna consciousness with great intensity. We have big Jagannath deities at our home, this much big, big Jagannath at our home. Every day 5, 6, 7, 8 times bhoga. Every day Mangal Arati. Devotees are coming. Radheshyam Prabhu visited my home. Haldar Maharaj recently visited my home. Many devotees are going regularly there. Now I am a brahmachari here, the only son, as Anish is the only son. So I am here, but my parents are regularly hosting devotees there. Sometimes brahmachari, one day brahmachari told my mother, Mataji बहुत दिन से आलू पराठे नहीं खाए, बोले आ जाओ सब लोग, बोले कि मैं इतने पराठे नहीं बनाऊंगी, तुम सब खुद बनाओगे. So I got that photograph, all the brahmacharis rolling parathas, my father peeling mangoes and giving to brahmacharis. Good life. So everything, their life got transformed. Simply, my mother read this Srila Prabhupada Lilamrit. Now all the doubt got dispelled. No more doubt. ISKCON का पैसा विदेश में जाता है, विदेश से इधर आता है, सब पता चल गया एक किताब पढ़ने से, Prabhupada Lilamrit. The struggle that Srila Prabhupada underwent, my God. So therefore, I would request you read Srila Prabhupada Lilamrit, and you make your family people, family member read Srila Prabhupada Lilamrit, friends reading Srila Prabhupada Lilamrit, whoever. भगवत गीता समझ नहीं आएगी उनको, लेकिन प्रभुपाद लीलामृत उनको समझ आ जाएगी. एक बार पढ़ लिए बस, फिनिश्ड, अब कहीं के नहीं रहेंगे. हरे कृष्णा. थैंक यू वेरी मच. श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय.